Sounds a little different.
For sure.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Berkeley County Board of Education meeting this Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. I call the meeting to order. I declare a quorum of members are present and the media has been notified. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion from Mr. Wright, second from Ms. Littleton, to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay? The motion carries unanimously by a vote of 6-0. We need a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting of October 11th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Thank
Second.
you. We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from Ms. Wofford. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously by a vote of 6-0. We also need a motion to enter into executive session.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion from Ms. Littleton, a second from Ms. Tanner, to enter into executive session. The stated purposes of the executive session are as follows. 2B, a discussion of the evaluation, employment, appointment, assignment, demotion, discipline, or release of an employee or employees as needed. 2C, a legal update regarding a pending, threatened, or potential claim or other matters covered by the attorney-client privilege. 2D, the superintendent's performance evaluation. 2E, 4 student attendance appeals, and 7 student expulsion appeals. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor of entering into executive session, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously 6-0. We are in executive session.
Hey, how are you?
Is there a motion to return to regular session?
So moved.
Mr. Chair.
We
Second.
have a motion from Mr. Wright, a second from Ms. Littleton to return to regular session. Is there any discussion? All in favor of returning to regular session, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is approved unanimously, 9-0. We are in regular session. And for the record, no action was taken in executive session. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors presented by the Timberland High School Color Guard and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Cainhoe Elementary students, followed by a moment of silence.
Forward, march, left, 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 mark time, march, colors, hold, left, face, present, arms.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Post. Post to colors. Present, arms. Order, arms. Post. Right,
Thank you. Please be seated. Turn the program over to Ms. Tanner.
Good evening, everyone. We would now like to welcome the Philip Simmons High Choir under the direction of Timmy Winston as they perform in Meeting We Are Blessed by Troy Robertson. Thank you so much, Miss Winston. That was beautiful. We also want to thank Principal Mr. Chris Buchholz and this group of talented students for sharing their gift. Next, I'd like to recognize the following schools from District 8 for submitting the beautiful student artwork that has been displayed for everyone's enjoyment. I hope that you all had a chance to look. These kids are talented. The schools that participated were Berkeley Elementary, Berkeley Middle, Berkeley High, Boulder Bluff, Cainhoy Elementary, Fox Bank Elementary, H.E. Bonner Elementary, Howell Ames, Hanahan High, Moncks Corner Elementary, Macedonia Middle, Marrington Middle, Philip Simmons Elementary, Philip Simmons Middle, St. Stephen Elementary, Timberland High, and Whitesville Elementary. Thank you once again.
Next item on the agenda is item number 4, which is citizens' comments. In order to conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient manner, we ask that you honor the following guidelines. Stakeholder comments are welcomed and encouraged. However, the board will not take immediate action on public comments at this meeting. Any person wishing to address the board must register prior to the meeting. Comments must be regarding programs, policies, or procedures. Comments regarding complaints against employees other than district-level executives or references to students other than the child of the speaker will not be heard in public. Groups addressing the same topic should select one speaker. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The board chair reserves the right to allot additional time or to halt public comments that do not adhere to the guidelines. Our first speaker is Mr. Steve Davis. His comment is concerning the highlight and the significance of board member Mr. Frank Wright. Welcome, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Chairman Barrow, Superintendent Deion Jackson, and other respective board members and fine citizens of this community. It's just an honor to be here. I promise you I'll be within the realms of the 3 minutes. I come forward to highlight and to really legitimize for many of us the significance and importance of this gigantic individual who have served on the School Board of Education for over 25 years. Not only is he my friend, but he has been committed to excellence in education. And I would say this, his presence is shown and known throughout Berkeley County. He have survived, I won't use the word survive, but he went under the tutelage of about 5 different superintendent of education. So he has a tremendous longevity. And I would say that this school for which we are this afternoon, Ken Hoy Elementary School, which is so significant and important in this community, I would say that his hands and impression is here also. I would also say in reference to Frank Wright, an old poem my dad used to say, that he says that the essence of life is to care. Surely, Frank Wright cares about the students and the youth of this community and throughout Berkeley County. The opportunity of life is to serve. Wow, 25 years of dedication, commitment, in the boardrooms, the voice of so many who can't speak for themselves, speaking truth to power, sometimes being ridiculed, not being appreciated, not being highlighted, yet he continues to pursue the course of excellence in education. Frank, we thank you. We salute you. I'm the proud father of 3 boys, and I have the honor and distinction to say that each one of them were in the public schools of Berkeley County. And I will say that they were in District 8. They received quality education in Berkeley County. Quality education. One would go on and follow in my footstep, become an attorney. Other one, he's a stockbroker, master's degree. My younger son, he's in the military service. Frank Wright, you have served us well. Your absence from the school board is going to be severely missed.
Yes.
I know you. I know you well. Board members, I know he's a champion in the back. He has a beautiful disposition. I've never seen Frank really angry. Articulate. I went to court with him once time.
Mr. Davis, we agree with you, but your time has expired.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Hey, Dave. Give him 30 more seconds. Let him.
I second that.
You got 2 more minutes, but you got.
Chairman, there's a reason he wants this, because it tells you the quality of this individual. We were in court one time, nothing adverse. The judge, Frank and I was standing side by side, and I really had to pull his court tape because he was trying to be the lawyer. I'm telling you, Frank is an awesome individual, and I thank you, Frank. We love you, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Yes.
Nothing but the best.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Our next and final speaker is Craig Askew for Frank Wright farewell. Welcome, Mr. Askew.
Good afternoon.
Good
afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Frank Wright. Frank has been a friend of mine for over 25 years, and truly, he will leave a void in the Berkeley County School District. He has been a champion for education. He's shown light, he's shown love and light in everything he does. Frank has been a mentor of mine. He has always been there for me. He's very articulate, very caring, and very loving. I know that when he leaves here, there's going to be a huge void, and I hope that you guys have plans to fill that gap. But this is a new chapter, Frank. It's not goodbye, it's see you later. This is a new chapter in life, and I know you look forward to doing bigger and better things. And of course, I have Mr. Askew here, and your good buddy Mike Shaw, and we all support you, we love you, and we know the work that you have done has spoken for you. So, thank you, Frank. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. The next item on the agenda is any action as required for items from executive session. We'll hear the attendance appeals first.
Mr. Chair, in the matter of student number 1, I move that we deny the appeal.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. McQuillan and a second from,
Ms. Tanner.
Ms. Tanner to deny the attendance appeal of student number 1. Is there any discussion? All in favor of denying this appeal, respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously to deny the appeal.
Mr. Chair, in the matter of students number 2 and 3, I move that we grant the appeal.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. McQuillan and a second from Mr. Ramsey to accept the appeals of students 2 and 3. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion to grant the appeals of students 2 and 3, please respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay.
I have to abstain.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Marone did abstain from the vote, so the vote is 8-0 in favor of granting the appeals. And now we have an expulsion appeals. We'll hear the first expulsion appeal.
Mr. Chair, in the matter of student number 1, I move that we deny the appeal.
Second.
I have a motion from Ms. Wofford, a second from Mr. Ramsey to deny the expulsion appeal of student number 1. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay?
Nay.
The motion carries by a vote of 8-1.
Mr. Chairman, for student number 2 expulsion appeal, I move that we deny.
Second.
I have a motion from Ms. Tanner. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. McQuillan to deny the appeal of student number 2. Is there any discussion? All in favor of denying the appeal, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously 8-0.
Mr. Chairman.
Excuse me, 9-0.
Sorry. Mr. Chairman, for expulsion appeal number 3, I move that we deny the appeal.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from Mr. McQuillan to deny the appeal of student number 3. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion to deny the appeal, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries to deny the appeal unanimously, 9-0.
Mr. Chairman, in the matter of student number 4 for expulsion appeal, I move that we deny the appeal.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from Mr. McQuillan to deny the appeal of student number 4. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously by a vote of 9-0.
Mr. Chairman, in the matter of student number 5, I move that we deny the expulsion appeal.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from Mr. Wright to deny the appeal of student number 5. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion to deny the appeal, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion carries by a vote of 8-1 to deny the appeal of student number 5.
Mr. Chairman, in the matter of student number 6, I move that we send the student to alternative school.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from Mr. McQuillan to accept the appeal of student number 6 and assign the student for the remainder of the school year to the Berkeley Alternative School in Moncks Corner. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously by a vote of 9-0.
Mr. Chairman, in the matter of student number 7, I move that we deny the expulsion appeal.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from Ms. Wofford to deny the student appeal, expulsion appeal of student number 7. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion to deny, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously to deny the appeal.
Mr. Chairman?
We also have a couple of things coming out of executive session. I'm sorry, Ms.
That's
Tanner.
no worries. Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the personnel recommendations of the administration as discussed in executive session for the current school year.
Second.
We have a motion, pardon me, from Ms. Tanner, a second from Ms. Wofford, to accept the personnel recommendations of the administration as discussed in executive session for the current school year. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously, 9-0.
Mr. Chairman, I move to rate Mr. Jackson as proficient based on the cumulative board feedback from the McGrail evaluation tool.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Littleton, a second from Mr. Wright to approve the rating of Mr. Jackson's as proficient, his superintendent evaluation based as proficient, based on the cumulative board feedback from the McGrail evaluation tool. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Jackson, this will be my last time evaluating you. And I'm so happy that it all turned out well this time. And I'm sure that you will have many more evaluation that will be efficient and even greater than that, because you're a wonderful young leader, and you have shown integrity and honesty and strong leadership since you've been here. I'm sorry that you had to deal with the COVID situation, because I think we'd be much farther ahead in our curriculum and our school. But I tell you, I'm just very, very proud to have known that I've been a part of this board and you've been my superintendent. So I just thank you for being who you are, and I wish you all the success in your endeavor and your future going forward.
Any other comments, any other discussion? All in favor of the motion to rate Mr. Jackson as proficient based on the cumulative board feedback from the McGrail evaluation tool, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The board has voted unanimously, 9-0, to have the proficient rating for Mr. Jackson's evaluation. The The next item on the agenda is Legacy Builders, a special recognition. Mr. Jackson, you are recognized.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I like that. We get that out here in the country. Tonight I have the distinct honor and privilege to recognize tonight's legacy builder, Mr. Frank Wright. And they told me to keep it brief, so this will be brief. There's some other remarks, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright is the epitome of a legacy builder and a legacy legend. As a board member, his impact can certainly be felt throughout the school district and throughout Berkeley County. There's an old saying that says, still waters run deep, right? Y'all heard that before? And that's exactly what you get with Mr. Wright. And for those of us that know Mr. Wright, those of you that know him, you know he's not an easy person to read. Not just from the casual look. Not an easy person to read. And so what you might not pick up on behind that stoic expression is the experience, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the caring nature that exists within. And so at this time, Mr. Wright, if you will, join me down here. I'd like to offer you this portrait. This portrait is an artwork by Phillips Simmons High School student Mac Heberbrand. It's as a small token of our appreciation for your 24 years of service to Berkeley County School District and this community. Thank you, sir.
Hold it up, Frank. Let us see it.
Awesome.
All right.
Mr. Wright, hold your speech until we get finished. The next presentation is a board presentation. Mr. Jackson, I'd like for you to accompany us, if you will, but this will be a board presentation down front. If all of the board members would come down front. And I do want to say a few things. Mr. Frank Wright and I go back 24 years. He was a sitting board member when I was principal of a high school or a middle school in Berkeley County. I'd occasionally go to board meetings, but when I became supervisor of middle and high school, I had to attend. And it was my great pleasure on occasion to actually hear what Mr. Wright had to say, because he didn't talk a whole lot. He was the E.F. Hutton of his time, because when he spoke, people listened. He sat right next to a lady named Wilhelmina Moore. And Mr. Wright and Ms. Moore were just special people. Whenever they spoke, and Ms. Moore spoke a lot, but she had a lot to say about her community, and Mr. Wright had a lot to say about his community. And he was just a tremendous, he was an uplifting spirit. He's remained that way, and during the course of these 24 years, since I've been on the board with him and when I was supervisor, I've respected his commentary, his thoughtful process of actually evaluating situations and coming up with commonsensical solutions. That's what Frank Wright is. He's a people person, but he's an introvert. That's that's a dichotomy, because he loves people, but he really doesn't talk a whole lot. So, Frank, You have been my mentor, you have been my friend, and you will remain my friend for many years to come. God bless you.
So I've had the pleasure to serve with Frank on the board now about 8 years, and I remember when I first got on this board, I guess I'm still young. I think I'm the youngest member on the board, but I was a young buck and energetic and sometimes a little too aggressive. And Frank doesn't talk much, but when he talks, it's important. And he's served on this board for so long and has so many years of wisdom when it comes to taking care of our children and governance. But I appreciate everything Frank has taught me and that I've learned from him. He is, like Dave said, he brings a common sense and a wisdom that I don't think anyone else on this board has because of your years of service, truly. And like I said, Frank, he's a man of few words, but when he talks to you, you need to listen because it's important what he says. He's called me before, you know, and when he calls you, he's straightforward. Frank said, "Max, stop playing around. We got to do what's right here." And, you know, typically when Frank calls you, you're playing around and you need to listen to him. And so I'm going to miss you, Frank, but I'm sure I'll see you around. We'll get us a drink together or something. But just, you know, some of our toughest votes on this board, some of our hardest decisions, the board was split. And a lot of times Frank was that voice of reason and that voice of wisdom to bring us together so that we could do what was best for this school district. And so I really am going to miss him. Seeing Mr. Askew and Fred Lincoln and Steve Davis was here. Just he's touched so many lives and he's so influential in this community and others. And we're going to have a big void on this board without you, Frank. And it really, truly has been a pleasure to serve with you. And I'm going to miss you up here.
Mr. Wright, if you'll step up here. We're not going to show them what's in this case here. You can show it to them afterwards. So if you'll open it up right here. It says Frank Wright, Berkeley County School Board member from 1998 to 2022. And use this wisely, but sometimes sparingly. Thank you.
Well, I guess y'all really don't know me that well because I'm actually an extrovert. I'm not really an introvert. But sometimes, you know, when you're doing something as serious as what we do every day, you have to be serious about your business. But I never thought about becoming a school board rep. It happened accidentally. I'm just telling you. I was coming to the school. My son was in the first grade. Oh God, what was her name? I was supposed to remember that teacher's name. But anyways, and Miss Chisholm, my fourth grade school teacher, she was the director of PTA, and she saw me, and I would always visit school, and probably about 25, 26, I don't know, and she wanted me to serve on the PTA board. And I tell you, that was a tough decision for me because I enjoyed doing my happy hours, you know, after work in Charleston. So that meant that I had to come here and become a part of the school board, the PTA board. And after serving the PTA board for about maybe 4 or 5 years, I chaired the board, became the president, and after a while, you know, it became fun because I thought I was doing something important for the community. And then Mr. S.J. Cooper was about to retire from Berkeley County School Board, District 8, and having been in several meetings in Mounts Corner with S.J. Cooper and Mr. Jefferson and others, Mr. Cooper recruited me to run for school board. And I was a little intimidated because I wanted to do my happy hours. I wanted to be in Mount Pleasant, Charleston, doing the things that I really enjoy doing. But I committed myself to this job because the constituents, you hired me. You voted for me. And when you voted for me, you told me that you entrusted me to do a job. It's never been about me. It has never been about me because it's always been about us because I'm very selfish when it comes to doing what I need to do for students and everybody. But I thank you all because I can say so much more, but I'm just going to cut it short. But this has been probably the best 24 years of my life. I've met so many different people. Superintendent Chester Floyd was my first superintendent. And when I walked into his office and I had a conference with him, and I wanted to know what he wanted from a school board rep. And he said, I wish that all will agree with me on everything that I want to do. But I do realize that we may differ from time to time. And even if we differ, Mr. Wright, let's do it respectfully. Let's do it as men. And I learned that one thing being on this board. I have differed with every board member that's standing behind me. I differ with Sally and Mac probably more than and Manny and Michael, but I've always respected them. And that's all I wanted from them, to respect me, because my perspective may be different, because the people that I serve may have different needs. But at the same time, it's all about all the students in Berkeley County. Chester Floyd, Dr. Parker, Mrs. Blackburn, Dr. Rodney Thompson, Dr. Turner served for a short period as superintendent interim, Dr. Ingram, Mrs. Blackburn, Deion Jackson. I've worked with all of these superintendents and many board members. Ms. Carolyn Lewis, first board chair I've ever worked with, Francis Brewer, Harriet Dangerfield, Jerry Prosser, Jim Royce, Catherine Bound, Nita Granger. I can just continue to name all of them. Dan Kingsbury, Doug Cooper, Dr. Murray, Philip Overy, Jimmy Henson, Terry Hardesty, Jim Hayes, so many more. Shannon Lee, you know, Kathy Schraube, oh my God, Kathy Schraube. All these board members that I've served with, I've learned something from all of them. But I'm just telling you that it's been a beautiful experience, and I'm gonna miss you guys. Because as much as we have fought in executive session, I care about you. But I still care about you, you know, I really do. And I'm just telling you, Matt don't really tell you what I have said when I've called him. Because I've used a few choice words with Matt McQuillan. But we're still friends, and I look forward to having that drink with you, Matt, because he loves to eat. And I mean, he loves to eat. But you know, he loves to eat. He still does. He still does love to eat. But nevertheless, it's been a wonderful road, a wonderful experience. I see some faces who have been with me forever and ever and ever. The class of 1978, I'm proud of you guys. Thank you all for entrusting in me, and I will be here, I will be around to continue to lend my hand in anything I can possibly do to make Berkeley County a better district. Thank you very much.
Listen, none of that. I was over there holding it back. You can hold it back.
Okay.
Yeah, you go right down. Thank you.
Class of 78, okay.
Next on the agenda is the Cainhoy class of 1978. A presentation, Ms. LaWanda Glears. Ms. Glears.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am a proud graduate of the class of 1978 and also the proud principal of Cainhoy Elementary School. Mr. Frank Wright, who has been my supporter for years and my friend here, and we would just like to recognize him for his hard work to the school, to the community, and to Berkeley County School District. Tonight I have with me Bevelyn Howard Baldwin, he still calls her Howard, who will do a presentation, and then I'll follow with my presentation.
Well, to God be the glory for the great things that he has done. I am Reverend Beverlyn Baldwin. I'm an associate at Charity AME Church, and I am also a proud former graduate of the Kenoi High 1978 class, which is the best class that ever. By the way, to our superintendent, Mr. Dion Jackson, to the board chair, Mr. Barrow, and all the board members, to my friend and sister, Principal LaWanda Gilflares, to all the teachers, staff, to our community leaders and members, and to you, and especially you. I count it an honor and a privilege to honor this person whom I've known most of my life. We went to elementary, middle, and high school together. We graduated here from this, not this particular building, but from the Kenoi High School. And Frank has always been a goal-driven achiever. When he sets his mind to do something, he doesn't stop until it's accomplished. It's ironic that this school, Kenoi, is where he started his academic career. And here it is tonight that he's back here again after serving over 24 years, representing the schools and the communities of District 8. An old cliche comes to mind when I think of where we came from and where we are today. We had secondhand books. We had used materials and supplies. But the God of grace allowed us to persevere and have a first-class education from highly accredited colleges and universities. That's why we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. That's right. Who would have thought that this man who grew up in this community, went away, graduated college, came back, worked and served his community in such a profound way, would have achieved so much? So tonight, we honor this Kenoi High School class of 1978 graduate, a community leader, a Berkeley County School Board member of District 8 for 24 years. I ask that you all, the class of 1978, and each and every one of you here tonight, if you would stand along with me and honor this man. My classmates, my friends, graduate and a brother. And the plaque reads, from the Berkeley County School District, presented to Frank Wright in honor and recognition of your years of dedicated service as a member of the Berkeley County School District, presented this 25th day of October 2022, the class of 1978.
And on behalf of Kenoi Elementary School, we'd like to present you with just a token of our appreciation for your hard work.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Wright, I would like to say that I've never seen a school board member have the most youngest picture on a school board website for 24 years, so I commend you for that.
You can say some more. If you like Kelly. What else do you want to say, Kelly?
I'm done.
That's what I was saying. The next item is Academics and Innovation Committee report. Ms. Littleton, you and your committee are recognized.
Mr. Chairman, the Committee on Academics and Innovation met on October 11th, and on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the Head Start Budget Expenditure Report, August 2022, and Head Start Credit Card Report, August 2022.
We have a recommendation from committee and no second is required. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously by a vote of 9-0.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the updated 2022-2023 instructional calendar.
We have a recommendation from the committee and no second is required. Is there any discussion?
I just want to put on record, it doesn't affect our children, the instructional calendar update. I just want everyone to know that.
Thank you, Ms. Tanner.
Yes, sir.
All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously, 9-0.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the proposed 2022-2023 local board-approved and innovative courses as provided.
We have a recommendation from the committee and no second is required. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously by a vote of 9-0.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
Next is the Committee on Finance and Capital Planning, Chairman Mac McQuillan.
Mr. Chairman, the Committee on Finance and Capital Planning met on October 11th, and on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the out-of-state travel as presented.
We have a recommendation from the committee and no second is required. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously by a vote of 9-0.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the ESSER 2 amendment as presented.
We have a recommendation from the committee and no second is required. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously by a vote of 9-0.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the 5-year lease to purchase contract in the amount of $2,274,912 for the acquisition of 16 modular classrooms located at Cane Bay Elementary School and Cane Bay Middle School, and authorize signing authority to Superintendent Jackson to represent the Board of Trustees in all related documents to consummate this transaction.
We have a recommendation from the committee and no second is required. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously by a vote of 9-0.
That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. McQuillan. Next on the agenda is Superintendent's report. Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Chair, board members, members of the audience, members of the Cane Hoy community. First, I'd like to do, as we always do, recognize our teacher forum guest that we have with us this evening, which is a surprise. I was told that we wouldn't have a guest this evening, but thank you for making your way out here. Ms. Taryn Davis of Goose Creek High School. As many of you know, tonight is our final meeting with the board as it's currently configured. Due to Mr. Wright's decision to retire, and also Ms. Marone's decision to pursue new endeavors, our board will change after the November 8th election. We will have at least two new board members to welcome after the election. Public service is a thankless, selfless pursuit, and I want to take the opportunity to recognize the time and the efforts of each one of you that have invested in our students and our families here in Berkeley County. I know firsthand the hours that you keep, the burden that you carry, and the responsibilities that you bear as you represent your constituents and all 38,000 plus students that we serve here in Berkeley County School District. And so I hope you know that I appreciate you and all of you have accomplished together as we improved the educational outcomes of our students. At this time, I will ask the crowd, the audience, to join me in applauding the efforts of this current Berkeley County Board of Education. Thank you again for everything that you've done, all that you will continue to do to support our students in Berkeley County School District. Last week, I had the opportunity to come out here to Cane Hoy Elementary School for a tech tasting event. Next time they have one, I highly encourage you to come out. This tech tasting event was led by the students. That was the most impressive thing to me. was led by the students. So our student leaders, they showcased their learning to their classmates at this experience. These student leaders showcased their experiences in coding and laser printing, but they also coached and led their classmates through the same experiences. It was very, very inspiring for me to watch these students teach their peers and introduce them to a very, very profitable and fulfilling career field. This program is a result of the initiative through our Office of Technology and our ITO machine, which visits this school regularly, 3 times a week, as a matter of fact, to support students in inspiring learning. And so I have to recognize Ms. Driggers and her team for that, having that initiative and it kind of being pushy and making sure that it got out here. So thank you, Diane. While we're talking about technology and the ITO machine, I'm very excited to report that we received a $100,000 grant from Google. This grant is a result in Google's interest in supporting a statewide tour of this ITO vehicle. This is one of its kind in the state of South Carolina. Our staff will take the ITO vehicle packed from floor to ceiling, from wall to wall with the latest technology and instructional technology tools and resources, and take it on the road to students across the state and allow students in other areas to enjoy the experiences that our Berkeley County School District students enjoy on a regular basis. We're very proud of our ITO machine and excited to share this one-of-a-kind instructional experience with other students in other schools across the state. And we hope to take these proceeds and hopefully create another ITO machine. Is that right, nice. Diane? That's the plan, to create another ITO machine using the proceeds from the grant. This morning at the 2022 Workforce and Education Conference, sponsored by the Charleston Metro Chamber of Commerce and the South Carolina Department of Commerce, Berkeley County School District was recognized as a nominee for Business of Education Excellence Award, for the Business of Education Excellence Award, and received a Diamond Award. The qualifications for this award require the employer to create an educational opportunities for students, educators, parents, and/or the community that focus on in-demand careers, skills needs, competencies, or emerging technologies. Emphasize the organization's role in building the future work world by connecting the community and organization's culture of inclusion, diversity, and equity, and contribute to the advancement of excellence within the Tri-County public education system. And so I want to take a moment to thank all of the members of the Berkeley County School District team for the recognition of outstanding work and commitment that they've made to make a positive difference to the lives of our students here in Berkeley County School District. So, thank you. And last but not least, you may recall that earlier this year, the board approved for me to negotiate a contract, to negotiate a land acquisition agreement with a developer for a new school site. And so I'm very proud to announce, to share that we've reached an agreement with Brookfield Properties that will bring a new K-8 school to the Nexton area here in Berkeley County. The agreement to acquire property includes land donation for a K-8 school of approximately 35 acres, and a commitment by the developer to pay a voluntary impact fee per residential unit. This collaboration is a win for our students and a win for the taxpayers and a win for Berkeley County School District. We're excited to continue working with our area developers, builders, and county government to ensure that construction, expansion, and updates of schools remains at the forefront of all planning. When growth helps pay for growth, it will no longer be perceived as an unwelcome challenge, but rather as an opportunity to improve the quality of life for our students and their families. Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you for that information. That's exciting, good news information. A land donation in the amount of 35 acres for a brand new school in the Nexton area. We applaud those developers as well as your commitment to making sure that you represented this board in a gentlemanly fashion and made sure that we got a good piece of property. The next item is the upcoming events, and there's a couple of items I'd like to address. For our audience and those watching, please be reminded that the district's penny sales tax will be on the ballot, as well as other items, obviously, on November the 8th. The board unanimously voted to put it on the ballot for the citizens of Berkeley County to determine whether it is the best option to pay for capital improvements. The revenue from the penny sales tax can only be used for the projects listed on the ballot, which are 2 new K-8 schools, one that Mr. Jackson referred to, 1 K-5 elementary school, renovations and additions at Berkeley High School, Cane Bay High School, Goose Creek High School, and Hanahan Middle School, as well as upgrades to athletic facilities in all 8 of our high schools. As our county continues its monumental growth due to economic development, we have to accommodate our increasing student population that flows with it. The penny sales tax is one way to pay for that growth, as Berkeley County residents do not pay for it alone using this method. According to the data received from the county government, approximately 40% of the revenue that comes from those traveling through or living near our county who spend money here. While we could increase debt service or seek a bond referendum in the spring, this board has agreed that the penny sales tax was the best option to present to the public for consideration. And with that said, please go vote on November the 8th. It would be uncommon for me not to tell the Cane Hoy Elementary faculty, staff, and administration, Mr. Doherty and Mr. Glears, that we greatly appreciate the hosting of this board meeting, particularly in light of Mr. Wright's farewell. I think it's only fitting that his last board meeting is at home, where he had his education. So thank you for hosting this. You've done a marvelous job. We appreciate that. And just remember that this will be the last time that this particular board, constituted the way it is, will meet. And I wish each and every candidate on the ballot the best good fortune, and have a good, eventful day on November the 8th. God bless you all, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr.
Second.
Chair.
We have a motion from Mr. Wright, a second from Ms. Tanner to adjourn the meeting. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. We are adjourned.